Hi, this is Kazarov.
Late on the night of September 9 into September 10, 2025, Russia launched a wave of drones targeting Ukraine, but at least 19 of them entered Polish airspace. It marked the first time a NATO member actively engaged and shot down Russian drones. Polish F-16s, supported by Dutch F-35s, Italian AWACS, and NATO refueling aircraft, intercepted the incursion. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk called it the closest we've come to open conflict since World War II and invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty to trigger urgent alliance consultations. European leaders condemned the act as a deliberate provocation, while the U.S. remained conspicuously silent. Ukraine's President Zelensky labeled the assault a dangerous escalation and urged NATO to deliver a firm economic and military response while Russia's aggression continues.
Oh, this is escalating fast. Russia just sent drones into Poland, solid NATO territory, and Poland shut them down. That's not a drill, no. That's aggression crossing a red line. Yet, NATO seems hesitant. There's fumbling in the halls of Brussels while Putin's pushing his chips forward. That's not deterrence, that's tentativeness. Listen, I get the need for dialogue, yes, but when your adversary bombards your adversary's neighbor with drones, and NATO's response is, let's discuss it. Stop. Let's discuss it. Okay. You are losing the narrative. That's not winning. That's borderline paralysis. We need to hit Russia indiscriminately, but economically cripple their military-industrial complex. Sanctions on steroids. No loopholes. Starve the machinery that's raining drones on Ukraine and eventually on us. And where's Trump in all of this? Crickets. Crickets. He's clamped up, won't say a word against Putin. That's weak. Leadership means taking a stand, not a passive post. A president who fears Putin isn't protecting NATO. He's enabling Kremlin mischief. So here's the centrist take. NATO needs to stop being polite, scrap their diplomacy and double down. More sanctions, more military support, lethality. Russia's already attacking NATO soil. Every second of hesitation makes NATO look defensive, not dominant. If NATO doesn't strike back economically and militarily now, they'll be on their back foot. And that emboldens Putin. That's not strategy, that's failure.
The breach triggered high-level NATO consultations under Article 4 across member states. Western capitals expressed urgent concern, pressing for tougher sanctions and immediate military aid to Ukraine. Polish airports, including Warsaw's, were shut temporarily and civilian warnings issued. Though Moscow denied responsibility and attributed it to navigation errors, European and U.S. leaders rejected that explanation, citing the operation as intentional and systematic. Ukrainian President Zelensky emphatically called for broader European air defenses and a united strategic response. Domestically, Poland cited the attack as justification to strengthen air defense and border security measures, while NATO allies reiterated their commitment to defending Allied airspace, but stopped short of invoking Article 5 collective defense.
Okay, let's break this down. NATO holds consultations. That's fine, but talk is cheap. If Putin's drones can violate Polish airspace and provoke more than a meeting. That's failure of resolve. We can't just consult while enemies test the boundaries. You either defend or you don't. What Putin is doing is probing, testing NATO's will and NATO's response. Meh. That's not strategy, that's reaction. Real strategy hits multiplication. If Russia attacks, NATO throttles their economy, military supply chain, their energy revenues, knock them off. And Trump silent, sitting silent? That's infuriating. You've got a US president with Russia's aggression on NATO soil, and he mouths nothing. That's absence. Leadership should be loud and clear. You don't leave your allies hanging when the threat gets real. NATO's current posture whispers, we are scared of escalation, but there's escalation, and then there's propping up a tyrant. NATO should be decisive, not dithering. Expand sanctions, fast track weapons deliveries. Let Putin know every drone into NATO will cost Russia billions in revenue, unlimited. As a centrist sounding board, I want NATO strong and smart. I want diplomacy, sure, but backed by brute force, economics, and military certainty. Poland defended, NATO protective, Putin contained. That's balance. Otherwise, drone incidents become breadcrumbs toward war. And NATO can't just eat them. You gotta stomp them.